AITA for calling my wife a slob and demanding she clean before I come home? I, 30M, just came back from a nearly 6-month deployment. I've been married to my wife, 29F, for 2 years. This is the longest deployment I've had since we've lived together. No kids, but we do have a few pets. I bought the house we live in before we got married, and before I left, it was clean and in great condition. When I walked through the door, it was like stepping into one of those hoarder show houses. I wish I was kidding. This is not an exaggeration. In fact, it's probably not descriptive enough. The master bathroom had black mold on the walls. The sink and shower were caked with soap scum, hair everywhere, trash covering the floor. We're talking used tissues, used pads, makeup packaging, all just strewn round. The toilet, I won't even describe the toilet. The bedroom had waist-high piles of clothes, papers, and God knows what lining 2 walls. The carpet was completely covered in pet hair. I saw little moths flying around that looked like the kind that eat fabric and hair. The living room wasn't dirty as much as it was piled with clutter, unopened shopping bags, decorations from last Halloween and Christmas still out, tons of random stuff she clearly bought but never put away. And the kitchen, the smell hit me before I even walked in. Both sinks were full of dirty dishes with some kind of black sludge coating the bottom. The fridge was packed, but mostly with expired and rotting food. There were 2 casserole dishes filled with what I can only describe as pure mold. Based on what I found, the food in those dishes had been sitting there since before I left in January. I completely lost it. I yelled. A lot. I called her names, because honestly, what kind of person lets things get this bad? It felt like coming home to a house abandoned by squatters. I told her she had 1 week to clean the entire house and return it to the condition it was in before I deployed or I'd be filing for divorce. Then I left. I'm staying with a friend. This guy is not easy to live with. He's loud, way too talkative, and messy in his own way, but even his place is paradise compared to what I walked into. My wife cried and begged me to stay. She said I was being unfair, and that I just left her here to deal with everything. But I don't understand. What everything? We have no kids. She works a normal job and comes home. That's it. No night shifts, no 80-hour weeks, no caretaking responsibilities. What else was there for her to deal with? What could possibly be taking up so much of her time and energy that basic tasks like throwing away used tissues, washing dishes, or taking out the trash couldn't be done? She told me I needed to help her because it was our mess, but I've been gone for over 5 months. She claims that I didn't understand how hard it was for her while I was gone. I didn't make any of that mess. I've been deployed and working my ass off, and the house I paid for was trashed while I was away. Is there something I really don't understand here?
Relevant comments. Horror Fruit 1942. Your NTA, though it does sound like your wife is in need of professional help. Hoarding and what you are describing could be severe depression or other mental health manifestations. Whilst you have no kids, loneliness and the reality of that may also be contributing. This doesn't sound like a simple clean the house issue. She needs therapy, and maybe you both need to talk and listen, without initial judgment, about how it got to that state. You're married after all. This really seems the worse in better or for worse. She's unwilling to talk or get help, then you divorce, but maybe there's a few steps before that? Jack 0101. Yeah, looks like depression.
Update. Just thought I'd post an update because I continue to get responses saying, she's depressed, on my original post. I heard you. 1,000 plus people saying it, you don't need to say it anymore. I went over to our house this morning and started cleaning while my wife was at work. It really doesn't look like she'd done much, even though she told me she'd been cleaning. I'd really like to know what she cleaned because I didn't see any difference between when I first got home to this morning. I cleaned the bathroom, threw most of the garbage all over the place away, but tried to be nice and keep what actually looked like untainted makeup and bath products. I sprayed the entire room with bleach, the walls, the shower, the toilet, the floor. The bleach pretty much ate all of the mold away on its own, but I scrubbed it all too. It took me maybe 15 minutes to rinse everything in the sink and load the dishwasher. That's what kills me. It took 15 minutes even with as bad as it was. Why couldn't she have done that? It took longer to scrub the sink itself, and now scratched up from all of the utensils and metal baking sheets and things, plus there are permanent stains. I almost vomited from the smell. I saved absolutely nothing from the fridge. I filled 2 large trash bags up with the contents, containers and all. I don't think anything was safe in there, and it wasn't worth taking the chance. There's still a lot more to do, but I took care of the most disgusting parts. She came home and didn't expect me to be there. She came home with a shopping bag. She had gone shopping despite the hoard of stuff inside the house. I told her I cleaned up the bathroom and the kitchen, and that we're going to work together all weekend to clean the rest of it. She hugged me and seemed all thankful, and I told her it's not that simple. I'm still pissed off and I still don't understand how this happened. She said she didn't understand how it happened either, she just got overwhelmed. She was mad that I threw some of the stuff in the fridge away. She wanted to save the casserole dishes. One was her grandma's. Well, I never want to eat out of that dish again. She went and saved it from the trash. I told her I threw more stuff away and tried to save what seemed salvageable in the bathroom. I also let her know that if she doesn't help me clean this weekend then I'm going to be throwing all of the stuff she's accumulated in the living room away too. She said she's going to help. I'll obviously have to tell her exactly what tasks to do, and I shouldn't have to do that. I've accepted that I'll have to do it to get the place cleaned this weekend. Long term, that's not what I signed up for when I married her. Am I going to have to get a chore chart like she's a little kid? I told her maybe we need to get a cleaning service to come in. I don't feel we should need people to come in and clean our house for us and I would prefer to spend my money on other things, but I still offered to do it for her sake. She was adamantly against it and doesn't want any cleaners coming into her space. She says it feels too weird to have somebody come in and clean. I asked her what was wrong, maybe she needs therapy or to get professional help. She said she knows she should probably go get help but she's not ready to do that and she can stay on top of things if we just get it back to clean state. She said she's fine and she just got overwhelmed with work and felt so tired and it was easy to let things go when she was the only one here. She says now that I'm back it won't happen. I'll believe it when I see it.
Relevant comments. Spacer Cat. Your wife is a hoarder. This is a mental illness. She needs professional help. 70 Pyrex baking dishes is not a collection, it's an addiction and obsession. She needs professional help whether you stay with her or not. No_inspection_3123. Yup, this is bigger than depression. Something has flipped the switch. She's in hoarder territory. Spinnerof Iron. Her coming home with bags of things when the house was this nasty really does make it sound like she needs therapy because this really does sound like hoarding.
OP. She argued that it was just a few little things. And they were little things, but still. She doesn't need to be bringing anything else into the house until what she has is organized.